This is the plaintiff, Joseph Petretto. He says he was supposed to move into the defendant's home, but her hot-headed boyfriend got involved and kicked him out just as he was moving in. Now the defendant refuses to refund his rent. He only lived there for 2 days, has no right keeping all his money, and is suing for $3,000 for 1 month's rent, stress, and health issues caused. This is the defendant, Diane Lane. She says Joseph, the plaintiff, is nothing more than an old-time scam artist who knows his way around the system. The guy has a criminal record as long as his arm. She didn't want him living in her house and owes him nothing because he caused extensive damage moving his things in and out. She's accused of kicking a guy to the curb.
Joseph Petretto?
Yes.
Okay, you are suing Diane Lane?
Yes.
Your landlord for like 20 minutes? Let's
Yes.
see. For $3,000 of 1 month's rent because she locked you out, and the rest for stress and health issues that lockout caused. Tell me what happened.
Well, Your Honor, I went to the interview with her, and as I was in there talking to her, there was a little girl. And she was a sweet little girl, and I befriended her. And she devoted the poster that she was drawing to my name. So I said, yeah, you're very nice. Come down here. I want to give you a hug. So she came, and I hugged her. And so...
How old is this little girl?
Excuse me?
How old?
Oh, she was about 11 years old.
6? Okay, 6, 11. She's your girl, right?
No, she's my neighbor's
A
granddaughter.
neighbor's girl. Okay, go ahead.
And so she tells me, well, I will accept you because that little girl never went to anybody, but she came to you.
Okay.
So you got the room.
Okay.
So I went the next day and I wrote her a check
For how much?
for $550.
And the next day was what day of the month?
That was the 2nd of June,
Okay. And the $550 was to cover what?
for the month of June.
Okay, so you were about to move in any minute.
I moved in that same day.
Okay, and what happens when you're moving in?
Nothing, I just went there and I took all my personal belongings from where I was. She inflated the bed and I slept on that bed in the days that I was there.
How many days were you there?
I was there 4 days.
Okay. What went wrong?
Well, when and a couple of my friends were moving of a few pieces of furniture and her boyfriend came out and says, you can't move in here. I said, who are you? I didn't even know him.
Right.
I said, I'm her boyfriend. I said, oh. I said, I didn't deal with you. I'm just dealing with Diane, not you. He said, would you like to hear from her? So I said, yeah, I would. So she said, well, I don't want the noise. I don't want this. I don't want that. I said to her, okay, then give me back my check. She
Okay.
said, I'll put it in the mail.
Did she ever give you back your check?
Never.
Never. You just never saw your money again.
Never.
What is going on?
Hi. I rent a room in my mobile home. I have a 2-bedroom mobile home, and I rent a room.
So you've been renting it out for a while? Mm-hmm. Okay.
And Joseph came to my house, and I met him, and it was true about my neighbor's granddaughter. She really did like him. And he was going to move in on the 10th. That was what we had agreed upon. He arrived like on the 2nd, said he's moving in. So he had no furniture. I had a blow-up bed. I mean, I didn't feel like I could just...
You were charging him rent for the month of June, though, right?
I was going to charge him rent for the month of June because now
The
he's
whole
moving.
month of June.
Yeah, because he's moving in the 2nd, but I certainly wasn't, you know, I was going to write up a lease, but I hadn't done a background check and I hadn't written up the lease yet because I figured I had plenty of time, and I had just had surgery on my back. But I agreed to let him move in. I mean, I'm not going to throw an old man out in the cold. So I let him move in, and it was a disaster. I mean, he's taken over my living room, all his cell phone, his computer. He's eating my food, even though I keep telling him food's not included in the rent. The Stop and Shop's right up the street. He says, well, I'm making dinner for us. So I come in from doing the yard work, and I say, where's the spaghetti? And he says, I ate it all. You know, I mean, it was just... So at that point, I went and did a background check and found out that he had been charged with fraud and racketeering and threatening, and you know, I realized I didn't feel safe having him in the house. And he hadn't moved in any furniture yet. And
Okay,
so
that's fine. Can I ask you a question? Why didn't you just return his $550?
At that point in time, I had deposited the check and it hadn't cleared.
Okay.
So I told Mr. Petretta that to leave me I needed a forwarding address, and that I was going to deduct any damages. And
Damages? He hadn't moved out yet. I mean, he hadn't moved in yet.
yeah, but when he moved his stuff in, he broke the jab on my door, the frame on the door to the room.
Okay.
The kitchen window was broken after he left, and the blow-up bed that I gave him to use and the linens were destroyed. They were just all shoved in the closet, and then when I went to, you know, use the blow-up bed again, it had holes in it.
Okay.
So it was it was
Really?
destroyed.
It's not just that you want to keep $550?
No, it's that's the truth.
Okay, can you prove it?
The only way I could,
It's not that
I
hard.
mean,
Oh, no, there's a lot of ways to prove it.
So if a landlord doesn't know when the lease is signed that the tenant has a criminal record, but finds out later, can the landlord break the lease? That's the question.
No, I mean, it's not in the contract, so I mean, they should be take the responsibility of putting it in.
I mean, that's a true statement. What do you think?
I agree. The landlord should have taken the responsibility to find out the background of that person before allowing it.
Final word.
Yeah, but why would she or he kick him out? If every person.
You just don't want to live with the criminal.
Yeah, but every person has a right to start over. You don't know if he's gonna do something.
Fair point. Going inside the courtroom.
Do you have a phone?
do I have a phone?
Yeah, do you have a telephone, a cell
Yeah.
phone? Does your cell phone take pictures?
No.
No? Do you have a camera?
No.
You have neighbors who have
Yes.
phones
Yes.
from this century
Yes.
that take pictures?
Yes.
Okay.
But what ended up happening was I never got a forwarding address. So I don't
Really?
until I got these court papers, and these court papers that
So then you paid the $550.
when I got these court papers, these were jammed in my door. I don't think they were. I mean, I don't think that's my neighbor found these.
Okay.
Shoved in the front door. The date is changed on the back
Why
of
should
them,
I
and
not
I
order
never
you?
got
Let
an
me ask
answer
you a
for 'em.
question, Ms. Lane. You do a lot of talking, but I'm not getting any answers that I'm interested in. You rented a room to somebody precipitously, and then when they sleep there a few nights, right?
Yes.
And then they're moving some of their stuff in, and then you decide, get out. Okay. If someone did that to you, you'd be calling the police, right? Because landlords don't have a right to do that to their tenants, right? Oh, it sounds awful when I say it like that, doesn't it?
I mean, I don't, you know,
Well, you
I
took
don't
his
know.
rent money. He's living there. You now tell me I changed my mind. I shouldn't have rented to him. And all that's well and good.
Yes, but I didn't
Except
throw
for
him
that
out.
you don't
I mean,
give him back his money. You need to do the same thing the rest of us need to do when we want to get a tenant out who's not paying rent or who we've changed our minds about. When you rent to somebody and you don't like them and they have a month-to-month tenancy, you have to give them 30 days notice. And then you have to wait and see if they move. And then if they don't, you have to evict them. But not you. You just tell them, get out of here, I don't want you here. Which is fine. If you say that to him and he said, well, I don't want to be here where I'm not wanted.
Right, well, we agree.
Don't talk. All that's fine. But then I'd expect you to pay back the money. You keep his money and you don't let him move in. Who do you think you are? You're a cheat. You're a fraud. That's who you are. You keep tossing around his criminal background, but you're doing the same thing. You're stealing somebody's money. How are you better than him?
Right. Well, like I said, I never got.
No, we're not.
I
There's
never
no question,
did get an
Peg.
answer.
No.
for him.
This is the part where you. That's what this part is. You stop talking because you're dead 100% wrong. You don't get $2,450 for stress and health-related causes. You do get your $550 back. And no, I'm not going to deduct anything for 3 nights on a rubber mattress either. And since you can't prove one whit of the damages you're talking about, you don't get to keep anything for damages. $550 verdict for the plaintiff.
Hold on right there, please.
Well, who tried to scam whom? Step right over here. The judge rules that you were the one.
I never had Mr. Petrosky's even address, and even when I got these papers from the court, there was no address, and I never got an answer for him. So there really wasn't anything I could do till I came
Oh,
here.
you were perfectly willing and able and ready to give him back his $550, though.
No, I was going to take out what the damages were, and for the week that because he was there at least a week.
Why did you bring any evidence of damage into the courtroom?
I didn't take any pictures at the time because I had just had surgery, and I just didn't.
Now, you didn't try to use his background against him in here and keep that money
I used
because
his,
of that.
I mean, his background was what stopped me from having him in
Giving
my
back
home. I
his
was
money.
afraid.
All right.
No, I was afraid. I mean, he's got threatening and
All right.
charges. I mean, I was afraid.
All right, head around the corner there. Let's see what the plaintiff has to say. All right, come on in here. All right, sir. How do you feel about this outcome and how the judge saw this?
Well, I feel I should have got a little bit more because of my age and the stress that I went through because of what she did.
Nothing for the stress, but you got your $550 back.
Yeah, I got that back. But
Because you scammed her out of spaghetti. You scammed her when you made the spaghetti and you ate it all.
no, I did not.
Harvey?
The key to this case and all of these landlord cases is take pictures at critical times to protect your rights.